Hi, and welcome to my so-called garden life. My name is Mia, and today it's the time to plant my tomato seeds. We're closing in on the end of March, and I need to get these seeds in the soil so they will be ready for when my outdoor temperatures are warm enough for tomatoes. The varieties that I'm gonna sow today are the big variety, the tall tomatoes that are going into my greenhouse and polytunnel, and the big bush varieties that I have just in my in-ground garden. So I'm gonna show you which varieties I plan for this year and a little quick how I plant the seeds. I keep my seeds in binders, and I keep the seed bags in photo pockets that I buy in just, they're available from many stores. And this way I can sit in my sofa or something and just browse, think about what I'm gonna plant tomorrow, and so on and so forth. I really like it. I have four binders full of seeds right now. So this is my binder for tomato seeds, and I'm gonna show you which ones I'm gonna plant today. I'm gonna start with a beefsteak variety. Now I don't have a picture of this one, but it's called pineapple, or in Sweden, ananas. It's a big beefsteak. It's orange with red streaks. It's super sweet. It has almost no seeds in the tomatoes. I saved these seeds 2018, and this is seeds from a lot of tomatoes. But it's a super tasty tomato. It's one of my favorite. It has the tomato flavor, but it's sweet like a fruit, almost like a peach feeling. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So we're gonna plant that, and then also from my own saved seeds, Tigerella, which is a normal size red tomato with stripes. It's usually quite quick, so it's nice to have on hand. Then I have red brandywine, which also is a beefsteak tomato, a slicer, but also from my own saved seeds. This one is really red, fleshy, excellent taste. Super tasty. I'm also gonna plant the yellow brandywine, also from my own saved seeds, because these are varieties that I've grown for a few years. So these are favorites. I rely on these. I really like to eat them. And then I have a few hybrids. All of these other ones are heirloom varieties. I can save my seeds, but I have a few varieties that are hybrids, and one of them is a Japanese tomato called Pink Treat. This seed pack contains 4 seeds, and they are really expensive, but this is the most beautiful tomato I know. It's pinkish red. It's almost between a beefsteak and a normal sized tomato, and I've never had a blemish on them. They never crack, they don't get bumps or anything. It's like always a perfect tomato. Even if I have uneven watering in the same greenhouse that all the other varieties are in, and they can crack, but these never do. So I think this is an excellent tomato, And that's why I pay for those really, really expensive seeds. So I have 4 seeds. I'm hoping for at least 3 plants. My other hybrid is Sun Gold, which is called the sweetest, one of the sweetest tomatoes in the world. But it's not only a sweet tomato, it's very tasty. It's got that really good tomato flavor and the sweetness. These are basically garden candy. So I always plant these. And then I have, I don't have a picture of this. This is Moneymaker. These are also my own saved seeds. That's a very standard red salad tomato. But it's quick growing and very prolific. So I really like that one. Then I have some bush varieties that I usually have in just the in-ground garden, not in the greenhouses or polytunnel. I have a beefsteak tomato that's called Marmande. That's a classic. It works really well in the in-ground garden here in the middle of Sweden, where our climate and our season isn't. It's cold and our season isn't very long, but these basically ripen or start to ripen, and then they ripen indoors, the ones that are still green. And another bush variety that is very opted for Nordic climate and colder climate is Subarctic Plenty. And that's a smaller red tomato. It's maybe this size, I think. But it's a good one, and it's usually very prolific. Another variety that is basically Subarctic Plenty is red and Marmande is red, and this Ida Gold is orange. But it's basically the same size as Subarctic Plenty. It's a half-size tomato, not a cherry, but not a full size. And then I have the last bush variety is called Taxi, and it's a light yellow, larger normal sized tomato. And this one usually it gets to be a lot of it. It's very mild, and it's actually really beautiful. It's a favorite of the ones in the in-ground garden. And then I have 3 varieties this year that I haven't tried before. I've decided to grow one called like a pasta tomato or paste tomato that is good for canning and keeping, and I'm gonna try to do some canning this season. I haven't done that before. That's called Belle Star. That's supposed to be prolific and rather quick growing, which is good for my colder climate. So I'm excited about this one. I also have a cherry tomato called Gelbe Dettelwein, and that it's a cherry tomato that's pear-shaped and light and yellow, and it can be like hundreds of tomatoes on a plant. It's supposed to be really prolific, and this is also one of those I consider garden candy. And I have one more cherry. It's called Pink Princess, and it was actually a new variety from this seed company this year. I think it will look in size and amount like the Sun Gold tomato, like a tall growing cherry tomato, but they're pink. And that's always nice. So these are the 14 varieties of tomatoes that I'm gonna sow today. And earlier I sowed the small bush variety for pots, and that I have in my window garden, Vilma. So this year there will be 15 varieties of tomatoes in my garden. It's usually worse. There can be a lot more varieties, but I'm trying to this year to keep the varieties down so that I know what I get. I would like a really good harvest, and I know what I want and what I want to use them for, and therefore there are a lot of classics that I've grown before, and but you have to try some new. Otherwise, you don't know if there are better choices. But since I started saving my own seeds on the heirloom varieties, the cost of tomato seeds is significantly lower, and therefore I can spend a lot of money on these pink treat seeds because I really want this one. But I don't have to pay for the other seeds, so it evens out, and I think that's it's a good compromise for me. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna take my plug tray here. This is 96 cells. I like this size. I used it for almost everything because this is I have a few of these, and I like it because the cells aren't tiny, so I don't have to transplant them right away, but they're still small enough so I can get 96 of them in one tray. So I'm gonna fit all these 14 varieties on this tray. Some of them are gonna sow maybe 2-3 seeds in each and hopefully transplant them pretty soon. Maybe the bush varieties get to share, and the expensive kinds, the hybrid kinds, Sun Gold is 7 seeds in this pack, so that one is also, these two are the absolutely most expensive tomatoes in my garden. But they're also the tastiest, so I do get them every year. They're gonna get single cells so they can really grow well. But otherwise I'm gonna fill this up. I have filled it with planting soil from a bag, same as all my other seed starts. I filled this up last night. I watered it from underneath, and now I've topped it off with some water, so the soil is moist, it's ready for some seeds. I'm gonna plant the seeds, give it some more water, maybe cover it a little, and put it under the grow lights, and hopefully soon see them germinate to be able to transplant them out in the polytunnel or in the greenhouse. If I'm daring, end of May, but otherwise first half of June is usually safe here with my climate and my temperatures. So let's get this started. So, all 14 varieties are now planted. I've pushed them so they have contact with the moist soil, but not too much over it. The bush varieties, I put about 3 seeds in each cell because they are my own seeds and they're from 2018 and they usually germinate extremely well, but you know, you don't want to risk it. The other ones that are my own seeds, I have put 2 seeds in each cell, and the newly bought seeds, the Bellstar, the paste tomato get 2 seeds per cell. Gelbe Dettelwein got 2 seeds per cell, and Pink Princess got 2 seeds per cell because there were a lot of seeds in those seed bags. Really nice. Pink Treat, there were 4 seeds in the pack as promised, so they have individual cells. But Sun Gold, the seed pack said 7 seeds, but I only got 6. So I've made 1 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed, 2 seed. We'll see how they germinate. If they germinate poorly, I will tell the seed company. But otherwise, I am super happy that this is done. I was planning to do this maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't happen. But now they're in the soil, they're watered. I'm gonna put them under the lamp, and then basically summer is almost here. I'll keep you updated on the germination, and we'll see how it looks in a week or 2. Thank you for joining me today on my tomato adventure for 2020. Hopefully it will be a very prolific and tasty tomato year. The goal is to grow enough tomatoes to sustain us for a year. That's hard in a small sized house garden, but you know, have to try. Until next time, you are very welcome to watch my other videos about my season for 2020, and you're very welcome to subscribe if you like what I show you. Bye bye.